Hello, thrill seekers and history buffs, and welcome back to the channel. If you thought Ohio was all cornfields and football, you're in for a chilling surprise. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the Buckeye State's darkest secrets. From forgotten asylums to ghostly prisons, we're counting down 10 of the most haunted locations in Ohio that you can actually visit. So, dim the lights, grab your bravest friend, and let's embark on a journey into the shadows. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield. You might recognize this imposing Gothic fortress from The Shawshank Redemption, but its real history is far more terrifying than any movie. Opened in 1896, it was intended to reform young offenders but quickly became a place of brutal violence and despair. Over 200 people died within its walls, including guards and inmates. Visitors and paranormal investigators report hearing disembodied footsteps, echoing cell doors slamming shut, and the chilling whispers of former inmates in the solitary confinement wing, notoriously known as the Hole. Some even claim to see the apparition of Helen Glackey, the warden's wife, who tragically died in a household accident in the warden's quarters, her faint scent of perfume still lingering in the air. Next at number 9, we travel to Waynesville to visit the Hamel House Inn. Established in 1787, this historic inn has been serving travelers for centuries, and some of its guests have apparently never checked out. The most famous spectral resident is a young boy who tragically fell down the main staircase. Guests often report hearing the sound of a child's laughter or the pitter-patter of small feet running through the halls, especially near that fateful staircase. Others have seen a mysterious woman in a black dress, believed to be a former owner, who wanders the second floor, perhaps still looking after her beloved inn. It's a cozy place for a night's rest, provided you don't mind sharing your room. Floating into our number 8 spot is the USS Cod Submarine Memorial in Cleveland. This retired World War II submarine is a floating museum, but some believe the spirits of its former crew are still on duty. The most active ghost is said to be that of a crewman who was accidentally left behind during a deep dive emergency. He managed to signal the sub to reopen the hatch, but tragically drowned just before he could be saved. Today, visitors and volunteers report strange occurrences, like tools being moved, hatches opening and closing on their own, and a feeling of being watched in the cramped, silent corridors. Some have even reported seeing a wet footprint appear out of nowhere. At number 7, we find ourselves at the Majestic Theater in Chillicothe. As one of the oldest continuously operating theaters in America, opening in 1853, it has seen countless performances. But some of its past patrons and performers have taken a permanent seat. The most prominent spirit is a woman named Elizabeth, a former actress who is often seen in the balcony, forever watching the stage. Another ghost is a man believed to have been murdered in the theater, whose shadowy figure is spotted lurking backstage. Performers have reported props moving on their own, strange cold spots on stage, and the eerie sound of a single person clapping from an otherwise empty auditorium. Coming in at number 6 is the Franklin Castle in Cleveland. This foreboding Victorian mansion is often called Ohio's most haunted house, and for good reason. Built in the 1880s by Hans Tiedemann, the house was the site of immense family tragedy. Within a few short years, Tiedemann lost his mother, his wife, and 3 of his children within the castle's walls. Rumors of dark secrets, including hidden passageways and even skeletons found in the walls, have circulated for over a century. Visitors report hearing a child crying, seeing a mysterious woman in black staring out of a tower window, and feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness. The castle's dark history and intense paranormal activity make it a truly terrifying location. We've reached the halfway point. If you're enjoying this ghostly tour of Ohio, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future adventures into the unknown. Now for number 5, the Ridges in Athens. Formerly known as the Athens Lunatic Asylum, this sprawling complex opened in 1874. It housed thousands of patients, many of whom were subjected to then common treatments like lobotomies and hydrotherapy. The asylum is infamous for the story of Margaret Schilling, a patient who disappeared in 1978. Her body was found 42 days later in an abandoned ward, and when they moved her, a permanent, perfectly outlined stain was left on the floor, which is said to be visible to this day. The grounds, now part of Ohio University, and the cemeteries where thousands of patients are buried under numbered tombstones are hotspots for paranormal claims, including sightings of spectral nurses and the ghostly figure of Margaret herself. Sailing into our number 4 spot is the museum Ship Valley Gem in Marietta. This historic sternwheeler offers scenic river tours, but it also carries some spectral passengers. The most famous ghost is Captain Tom, a former captain of the boat who loved his vessel so much he never left. Staff and visitors have reported seeing his apparition at the helm in the pilot house, smelling his cigar smoke when no one is smoking, and hearing the phantom ringing of the ship's bell. He's considered a friendly spirit, still watching over his beloved boat as it cruises the Ohio River, a timeless guardian of the waterways. At number 3, we venture to Loveland, home of the Loveland Castle, or Château La Roche. Built by hand over 50 years by a fascinating man named Harry Andrews, this medieval-style castle is said to be protected by its creator's spirit. But the most famous entity is the Viking, an apparition clad in Norse armor. There's also the Lady in Lavender, a beautiful spirit who smells of lavender and is sometimes seen weeping near the castle's garden. Visitors have experienced sudden temperature drops, heard strange noises, and felt an unseen presence, especially in the darker, more secluded parts of the castle. It seems Harry Andrews built a home so wonderful, some of its residents decided to stay for eternity. Our runner-up at number 2 is Moonville Tunnel in Vinton County. This abandoned railroad tunnel is deep in the woods and is the stuff of local legend. The story goes that in the late 1800s, a railroad brakeman was tragically crushed between 2 train cars near the tunnel's entrance. His ghost, known as the brakeman, is said to haunt the tunnel to this day. People who brave the dark, creepy passage report seeing a swinging lantern in the distance, belonging to the ghost who is eternally searching for his lost head. Others have seen a shadowy figure, or heard a disembodied voice warning them to stay away. The sheer isolation and chilling backstory make a nighttime visit to Moonville Tunnel a truly terrifying experience. And finally, claiming the number 1 spot as the most haunting location in Ohio is the Moundsville State Penitentiary. Wait, that's West Virginia. My apologies, folks. Let's get back to the Buckeye State. The real number 1 is, of course, the infamous Mansfield Reformatory, which we already covered at number 10. But because its history is so dense and its haunting so profound, it deserves another mention. The sheer volume of paranormal evidence captured here, from EVPs of ghostly conversations to full-bodied apparitions caught on camera, is staggering. The solitary confinement wing, the chapel, and the warden's quarters are all considered extreme hotspots. The energy of thousands of tormented souls is palpable, making it not just one of Ohio's most haunted, but one of the most haunted places in the entire country. So there you have it, 10 of Ohio's most haunted destinations, each with a story etched into its very foundations. From tragic spirits to lingering guardians, the Buckeye State is a playground for the paranormal. Which of these locations would you dare to visit? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this chilling journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spooky explorations. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave.